In a world full of noise, sometimes a new voice rises. Not with words, but with the crack of a racket. A voice that echoes resilience, passion, and power. This is the story of Victoria Mboko, a teenage tennis prodigy who didn't just arrive, she exploded onto the world stage. If you love stories of determination, of defying the odds, of young legends in the making, this one is for you. She went from fleeing a war-torn past to winning the WTA finals, from backyard tennis matches with her siblings to defeating global champions. What fuels her fire? Who's behind the power serve that's shaking the rankings? And what's next for this rising queen of the court? Stick around because the answers will surprise you. And hey, before we dive deeper, if you believe in rising stars, in real stories and rooting for the underdog, hit that subscribe button. Don't just watch history, follow it. Early life, Congo connection and career background. Victoria Vanessa Mboko, born August 30th, 2006, in Charlotte, North Carolina. A daughter to Congolese immigrants. But her story begins far earlier, far deeper, in the heart of Central Africa. Her parents fled the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a country rich in minerals but scarred by violence, corruption, and war. Back in the early 2000s, Congo was still recovering from one of the deadliest conflicts since World War II. The ruler during that period was Joseph Kabila, a president who had taken over after the assassination of his father, Laurent Kabila. While Joseph promised reform, much of the country remained unstable, especially in rural areas where militias ruled and families lived in fear. Victoria's mother, then only a teenager, fled the streets of Kinshasa during a rebel advance. Her father, a school teacher, walked for days seeking safety. Their journey led them to the United States, where they hoped to build a new life. Victoria was born into that hope, a new beginning. But her true journey began when her family moved again, this time to Toronto, Canada. Settling in Burlington, Ontario, the Mbokos carried their Congolese roots, resilience, and grit into everything, especially into Victoria. She started playing tennis at just 3 years old, swinging rackets with her older siblings. What started as fun soon became obsession. Her idols were Serena and Venus Williams. Her determination, unmatched. Coached by Nathalie Tauziat, a former Wimbledon finalist and one of France's greatest, Victoria turned raw passion into focused ambition. Her junior career was electric. She dominated the ITF junior circuit, reaching doubles finals at Grand Slams. Then came the leap. She stormed the ITF pro ranks and quickly became a force on the WTA Tour. By 2025, the world finally took notice. She reached the third round of the French Open, the youngest Canadian to do so, and then stunned Coco Gauff and Elena Rybakina at the Canadian Open to secure a final showdown with Naomi Osaka. Net worth, prize money, and endorsements. As of mid-2025, Victoria Mboko's career prize money has surpassed $4.2 million. Her net worth? Estimated at $6 million and rising fast. She's the new face of global tennis, and the brands are lining up. Nike signed her to a multi-year deal, complete with her own custom apparel line. Wilson Tennis created a special edition racket in her name. Dior, Gatorade, and Beats by Dre all joined the Mboko brand train. Outside the court, she lives a life of quiet luxury. She owns a $2.5 million lakeside mansion in Oakville, with a private court, home gym, and Congolese art pieces lining the walls. Her car of choice? A matte black Porsche Taycan. Electric, elegant, and fast, just like her game. Relationship and security issues. With fame comes curiosity. Victoria has kept her private life guarded, but there have been rumors, including a possible relationship with Zane Carter, a rising NBA prospect. The two were spotted together at a Toronto Raptors game, though nothing has been confirmed. Unfortunately, not all attention has been kind. In 2024, during a tournament in Spain, Victoria was forced to hire security after a fan began stalking her online and attempting to breach her hotel. The incident sparked conversations about athlete safety, especially for young women of color in global sports. Now, Victoria travels with a personal security detail. Still, she's often seen unwinding with friends or walking her dog through the quiet streets of Burlington when back home. Achievements and philanthropy. Victoria Mboko's trophy shelf is growing. 3 WTA singles titles, 1 WTA doubles title, Junior Grand Slam doubles finalist, and a WTA top 15 ranked, and still climbing. But her heart is just as strong as her serve. In 2025, she launched the Mboko Foundation, a charity that funds tennis programs and scholarships for immigrant and refugee youth across Canada and Africa. A portion of every match check goes to this cause. Her dream? To build the first fully funded tennis academy in Kinshasa, where young players like her mother once walked, barefoot and afraid, can now train, dream, and shine. A bit about the Congo and her roots. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is more than just a homeland. It's Victoria's soul. Her name carries the weight of generations who fought to survive. Once colonized, then devastated by 2 Congo wars, and ruled under Joseph Kabila through much of the early 2000s, the country has often struggled with poverty, violence, and exploitation. But out of that struggle rose a girl with a dream. She doesn't hide her heritage, she embraces it. On every victory lap, she carries both the Canadian and Congolese flags. She says, "I play for where I was born and for where I come from." What's next for Victoria? The road ahead is golden. With the US Open around the corner and the 2026 Paris Olympics on the horizon, Victoria Mboko is training harder than ever. Her team is expanding. Her influence is growing. Analysts say she's on pace to win a Grand Slam by 20. Her coach says she's mentally tougher than any player I've ever worked with. Her fans? They believe she's the future.